In the current geopolitical landscape, the contrast between the Kremlin's resilience and the escalating instability within the European Union is stark. The Kremlin, despite facing significant challenges, including a special military operation against a coalition of political Western forces, has demonstrated an unexpected level of economic stability and growth. In contrast, the European Union, guided by Brussels bureaucrats, is grappling with internal discord and economic challenges that are disconnected from the needs of its populace. The EU's misguided attempt to coerce Hungary into a financially detrimental aid deal for Ukraine, which the EU perceives as a great victory, underscores the bloc's detachment from reality.
Welcome to TFI Global, the antidote to mass delusion.
In the aftermath of the special military operation, assertions by the political West declared Russia's imminent downfall. The narrative posited that Russia's economy would face severe devastation, with expectations of a default looming large due to a significant portion of its foreign exchange reserves being frozen by Western financial institutions. Despite these forecasts, Russia's anticipated economic collapse did not materialize as predicted. The United States and its allies, in a further attempt to weaken Russia, introduced a price cap on Russian oil. This move, intended to constrain Russia's revenue from its oil exports, was met with skepticism and attempts at circumvention by notable Western countries, including Japan and the United Kingdom, despite its strong Russian stance. Moreover, the United States, while publicly denouncing others for their interactions with Russia, paradoxically continued to engage in the purchase of Russian commodities. In a more aggressive strategy, the political West, through its influence in Kiev, initiated a comprehensive campaign against Moscow. This effort aimed to severely disrupt Russia's economic stability and inflict maximal damage indirectly, avoiding direct military confrontation. The persistent narrative that Russia would succumb to economic collapse under the weight of Western sanctions and political pressure has proven to be markedly inaccurate. Despite facing formidable opposition from the political West, which launched a comprehensive campaign aimed at isolating and economically debilitating Moscow, Russia has not only weathered the storm but has emerged in a position of unexpected strength. Contrary to the Western expectations of an economic downfall, Russia has not only stabilized but has also achieved significant economic milestones. Notably, it has surpassed Germany to become the world's fifth largest economy and Europe's largest, marking a significant setback for Western countries that anticipated a different outcome. The economic scenario in Western countries, particularly in Germany and the United Kingdom, starkly contrasts with Russia's economic resilience. Germany's economic performance has deteriorated significantly, falling to levels not seen in decades. Similarly, the United Kingdom's economic situation has been described as the worst in over 300 years, highlighting a profound period of economic distress. Adding to the West's miscalculations, recent data, including reports from the International Monetary Fund or IMF, indicate that initial assessments of Russia's economic health were not only incorrect, but that its economic prospects are even more robust than previously believed. The IMF's updated forecast predicts a 2.6% GDP growth for Russia, a figure that doubles its prior estimate. This adjustment, highlighted by the Financial Times as the largest upward revision for any economy in the IMF's World Economic Outlook update, signifies a noteworthy recalibration of economic expectations for Russia in 2024. This series of developments reflects a significant underestimation of Russia's economic resilience and adaptability in the face of concerted Western efforts to undermine its economic stability. The outcome is a testament to the limitations of economic sanctions and political pressures as tools for compelling sovereign nations to conform to external expectations and demands. The effectiveness of the political West's sanctions against Russia is now under scrutiny, especially given that the upgraded forecast for Russia contrasts with downgraded expectations for other major economies, including Japan and the European Union, particularly within the Eurozone. This shift indicates a resilience in the Russian economy that has surpassed even the Kremlin's own predictions, with Russia's central bank having forecasted a growth of no more than 1.5% as recently as November 2023. Pierre-Olivier Gorinchas, the IMF's chief economist, acknowledged the resilience of the Russian economy in an interview with the Financial Times, stating it is definitely the case that the Russian economy has been doing better than we were expecting and many others were expecting. Moreover, Russian President Vladimir Putin's projections for the country's GDP growth have also drawn attention. Despite traditionally not being involved in the minutiae of macroeconomic policy, Putin's predictions on growth potential exceeding 3.5% or even 4% were, Putin's predictions of growth potential exceeding 3.5% or even 4% were initially met with skepticism. However, following the IMF's latest forecast, the reaction has shifted to one of shock and disbelief among mainstream analysts and commentators. The Financial Times report further states that Russian banks have achieved record profits in the year, a direct challenge to the anticipated effects of the Western sanctions. The profits were fueled by increased demand for subsidized mortgages and financing for asset purchases from departing Western companies. President Vladimir Putin has attributed this growth to a surge in domestic consumer and investment demand across key sectors such as construction, industry, agriculture, tourism, and transport. In the current geopolitical landscape, the contrast between the Kremlin's resilience and the escalating instability within the European Union is stark. The Kremlin, despite facing significant challenges, including a special military operation against a coalition of political Western forces, has demonstrated an unexpected level of economic stability and growth. In contrast, the European Union, guided by Brussels bureaucrats, is grappling with internal discord and economic challenges that are disconnected from the needs of its populace. The EU's misguided attempt to coerce Hungary into a financially detrimental aid deal for Ukraine, which the EU perceives as a great victory, underscores the bloc's detachment from reality. Meanwhile, Germany's questionable manipulation of economic data to ostensibly escape recession and the widespread protests by farmers across key EU member states reveal deep-seated economic and social discontent. Simultaneously, the United States is experiencing a political crisis of its own. Over half of the states are now in direct opposition to federal institutions under the Biden administration. This juxtaposition of Russia's economic fortitude against the backdrop of turmoil within the EU and the US illustrates a significant shift in global dynamic. The Kremlin's ability to navigate through sanctions and maintain, if not enhance, its economic performance contrasts sharply with the EU's internal disarray and the deepening political divide in the US. In the aftermath of the special military operation, assertions from the political West proclaimed Russia's impending downfall, forecasting economic disarray and potential default due to frozen foreign exchange reserves. Contrary to these predictions, Russia not only sidestepped these measures such as proposed price cap on oil, which even allies found ways to circumvent. Despite these efforts, Russia maintained stability, even overtaking Germany as the world's fifth largest economy, marking a significant rebuke to Western expectations. Amid sanctions, Russia's domestic sectors thrive with record-breaking performance in construction, industry, agriculture, and banking, demonstrating profound economic resilience. Russian banks in particular reported unprecedented profits, further evidence of the country's ability to withstand external pressures. Conversely, the European Union faces increasing instability marked by protests and political crisis, underscoring the disconnect between governance and the populace's needs. The situation in the United States reflects a similar discord, with states challenging federal directives, highlighting a broader crisis with the political West. The insistence on a rules-based world order by the US and its allies contrasts starkly with the emerging multipolar global landscape. The world seeking a fair and equitable international order resists the push towards a unipolar dominance that risks global stability. As multipolarity gains momentum, the political West faces a critical juncture: adapt to a changing world or continue on a path that could lead to further conflict and division.